Hi everybody, this is Holly from Whole Healthy Soul and I hope you're having a beautiful week. Today I'm going to do a little bit of meal prep. It is late in the day on a Tuesday and I've got a fairly busy week ahead of me, so I'm thinking about doing 4 or maybe even 6 meals so I can have a lunch and a dinner for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to finish out the week strong. First up, I'm just going to do a very simple salad mix. So I'm starting with the few pieces of celery I still have left that I either didn't eat or didn't turn a little bit too brown and unappealing. I'm not a celery fan, so eating this is a struggle for me. So I did chop off the ends and I just put them in my handy garbage bowl. If you don't keep a garbage bowl on the counter, I highly recommend it. Just throw all the trash and the scraps in there. If you are someone who wants to keep vegetables to make stock later, then obviously don't put the trash in there, but you can just dump all your vegetable leftovers, and that is an excellent way to save everything to make vegetable stock. I do want to take a little bit of time and look through, and anything that's super stringy, like these little tiny strings here, you can cut. I hate those. So I did pull those out. I'm gonna add some red cabbage, and I've got my cabbage in my trusty food saver, already washed, chopped, and ready to go. So I guess technically this is going to be more of a coleslaw than a salad. And I'm just gonna do a couple of decent handfuls. I have a package of Organic Girl spinach from Publix. I really like this brand. It's super clean. It's the washed to the third power, I guess. And it's really clean. It's not gritty. It stays pretty fresh, and it has a really pleasant taste to it. So I am going to add a good handful. It's a little bit tastier to me if I don't have big giant pieces of spinach, and particularly stems. So really that's all I'm going to do. To make my bento boxes, I am using these Ello boxes. They are glass, which I prefer. I would love to have stainless steel, but they are quite expensive and I'm not quite ready to invest in those yet. So these are glass, and they've got the silicone sleeves around them on the outside to keep them from breaking. Then they come with a plastic lid. You remove the lid, this will go into the microwave. It will go into the refrigerator, and it will go into the freezer, which is really convenient. So I love these. I got a package of these. There were 5 boxes, all with lids in multiple colors, from Walmart.com for $30, which I thought for a good quality glass set of boxes was a really good price. To put my salad dressing in, I'm going to use these little containers, which these are also from the Ello brand. These are plastic, so keep that in mind if you don't like to use plastic. But I like how easy they are to measure in, and then the lid screws on instead of snaps on, so even if it turns over, it will not leak. So what I'm gonna try to do is put my salad in the box and then just sit this in the box, and it will just give me just enough clearance that the box will fasten. I am going to get a good handful of my salad. I'm not going to use the whole bowl of salad that I've prepped because I'm actually going to make 2 meals out of this. My, I suppose, surprise ingredient, and one that I want to talk about to put in this, is actually shredded or crumbled goat cheese. Now, I've not really cooked with or eaten a lot of goat cheese in my life, but I am very interested in this brand and how it's going to taste. This is a dry crumbled cheese, very reminiscent of feta or blue cheese. What I like about this is you can have 1/4 cup of this as a serving, and it has 1 total carb in it. So a 1/4 cup of this pungent cheese is a lot of cheese. So I am just going to measure out a 1/4 cup of it. I'm going to go with my favorite old reliable tried and true bottled dressing. This is Keto ginger dressing, and I think ginger tastes good on everything. On cheese, on eggs, on salad, on steak, on vegetables, on everything. So I'm thinking it'll be good with this salad too. So I'm going to mix this up really well, and I'm going to portion out 4 tablespoons into this cup. 2 tablespoons is a serving. 1 serving has 80 calories, and it has 2 grams of total carbs. But I like a lot of dressing in my salad, so I'm going to go ahead and do 4 tablespoons, which is 2 servings, so 4 carbs in this. I don't know if you can see that, but look how creamy and how rich that is. It is filled with ginger. When you pour this over your salad and the liquid soaks down into the salad, the ginger sits on the top, and those bites that have that tang of ginger in them are amazing. I lost a piece of cheese. They are absolutely amazing. Now, I am going to see if I can pack this in here and it will close. But if your salad is too big, obviously you don't have to put the dressing in there. I just like everything contained in one place. This is going to be, so 4 total carbs for the dressing, 1 carb for the cheese, and it's going to be about 5 carbs for the greens. It's really about 4, but it's like 4 point something. And if mine is point anything, I tend to round them up just so that I get into the habit of eating less. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 carbs for an amazing, amazing, amazing salad. It would be delicious with a boiled egg, and if I had any eggs in the refrigerator, it would have one, but I am fresh out of eggs because I made chaffles today. So this is very, very simple, and it is going as is. My next meal for this week is actually going to be dinner. So I'm going to be making a dinner salad, but I'm putting it in this larger container. So this is also Ello. I bought this on sale at Target. I'll try to put a link in. I don't think they're still on sale, but I really, really like this container. So it does have a plastic lid, but the bowl itself is glass, and it does have the silicone around it to protect it. I'm going to go back to my Organic Girl spinach. I would like to invite you to take a moment to hit subscribe, hit the like button for this video if you would be so kind to do that, and follow along by joining the channel and clicking the notification bell so you'll know when we get new videos posted. I'm going to add 1 more handful of red cabbage to this because I have a family history of high triglycerides. My dad and I both really struggle with that. And even as I'm losing weight, my triglycerides aren't budging. And I have read in a number of places that red cabbage is a natural triglyceride reducer. So I try to incorporate that in my diet as much as I can. To this, I am going to add like the world's simplest salad ingredients. I'm going to add a can of chicken. This is white and dark meat mixed together. The whole can is 2.5 servings, so it's 50 calories per serving, so 150 calories for the whole thing if you're tracking that, but it doesn't have any carbs. So I'm going to use the whole can, minus a little bit that I ate and a little bit that I saved for another dish. So this is about 3/4 of a can of chicken. I don't love this chicken, by itself, but I really like it mixed in salads and things like that. So I've got chicken here. I am going to just add a few sort of Cobb salad inspired ingredients. So these are pieces of real chopped bacon by Hormel. I really like chopped as opposed to pieces because I feel like these bigger portions and these bigger pieces, you just get a more satisfying bacon crunch. So I'm going to try to do my salad really pretty, the way that I see people do them sometimes on YouTube. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make it. One serving is a tablespoon, and I've got probably about a tablespoon and a half, but there are no carbs in this. I am going to add a little bit more of my goat cheese because now that I've opened this, I really want to eat it fairly soon. I'm probably not going to do an entire quarter cup because I want to put some cheddar in here. But I am going to do just a tablespoon or two of this Montchevre goat cheese. I am going to add a quarter cup of just some shredded cheese. This happens to be mild cheddar. I am pretty flexible on mild versus sharp. I like Colby pepper jack. There isn't really a cheese that I don't love. If there is one, I don't know where it is. So 1/4 cup of this is 2 carbs. So I'm going to put that over to this side and make that pretty. The last thing I'm going to add is just a few of these very, very small tomatoes. I'm not a huge tomato fan just in their natural state like this. To be perfectly honest, I prefer them to be made into salsa and be surrounded by tortilla chips. But same as the celery, I'm trying to work my way into liking some vegetables that I don't naturally like. For the dressing, what I'm going to do when it is time to eat this salad is I am going to take one of these single packets of guacamole, which has 100 calories and 4 total carbs per packet. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of ranch dressing and make like an avocado ranch and drizzle it over the top. But I'm not going to add that until I eat it because I don't want this to turn brown. And I think that that's it. So the greens, I amped up the greens a little bit. So that's going to be about 6 carbs in the greens, 2 carbs in the cheese. So that's 8. 1 carb in this goat cheese makes 9. 2 carbs in this makes 11. No carbs in that. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to eat those tomatoes. They're just there for the video. I'm actually going to take them out. I prefer the salad to look like that. So this will be 11 carbs plus 4 carbs for the guacamole, so 15. And then there are no carbs in the ranch dressing that I'm going to use. So 15 carbs if I eat it as is. I will probably add a chaffle to it. I may even cut the chaffle up into like croutons and add that to it. And the way that I make my chaffles, they are right at 2 carbs. So that would be about 18 carbs for the whole thing. So a pretty big carb count and a large meal. But as I said before, this is going to be my dinner salad. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the top on this, get it closed up, and go on to the next one. All right, for my next lunch, I'm going to be using some of this Oscar Mayer Deli Fresh chicken breast. It's rotisserie seasoned. I really, really love this one. As you can tell, this is a family pack and it is almost empty. I have just unfolded 8 pieces of this chicken and lined them up into 2 different, what's going to be 2 wraps that are going to just be this chicken as the base. That is 2 servings. So one of these is a 2-ounce serving. Right around 4 slices of this chicken is 1 serving. I do have 2 servings, but it is only 1 total carb per serving. To the wraps that I'm making, I am going to add in my favorite cream cheese at the moment, which is this Kite Hill. It is plant-based, so it's dairy-free, which helps with inflammation if you are interested in using keto and low-carb cooking as a way to help with inflammation. So I am going to add a serving size. A serving size is 2 ounces. That is going to be 2 carbs. And I'm only going to do about 1 ounce per wrap. You don't need a ton of cream cheese, but I do want to have enough to kind of cover it. So very gently, and this is a little bit harder to do than I want it to be, but you just spread the cream cheese. Another reason I like this Kite Hill version as opposed to, say, a Philadelphia or a traditional kind of cream cheese that you think about getting in the blocks, is I find this to be much easier to spread, so it isn't going to tear my lunch meat quite as badly, and I don't have to soften it. This is just straight out of the refrigerator. I'm going to grab one of my favorite ingredients in the kitchen, which is good old-fashioned hamburger dill pickles. And before I put them on my wraps, I am going to put them on a paper towel, because you don't want the wrap to be terribly wet. You want to kind of dry off the pickle juice just a little bit. You're not going crazy. I mean, you're not squeezing them until there's nothing left. You just don't want them to be dripping. And then just line as many pickles as you want. And for me, I want a lot of pickles. Pickles are good for me if I'm feeling a little bit tired or sluggish, if I'm run down. I don't drink a lot of electrolytes because I am worried about the amount of sodium that I am ingesting because of my blood pressure. But I do sometimes, if I'm hot or I've been exercising, if Cooper and I have been for a walk and I'm sweating, pickles are really good because of the sodium they have in it. It's good to give you kind of a little bit of a boost, and it sort of settles your system back down. So all I'm going to do now is just wrap these up. And as you come to the end of one piece of lunch meat, you just pick the second one up and keep wrapping. So I've got my wraps, and that is 2 carbs for the cream cheese. I went ahead and I'm going to round up and say 1 carb for the pickles. My pickles say that a serving of pickles is less than a carb, but since it doesn't specifically say 0, I'm going to give myself that carb, because again, I'm trying to learn to eat less so that I don't overindulge. So 2 carbs for the cream cheese, 1 carb for the pickle, and 2 carbs for the turkey. So I am at 5 total carbs so far. Next, I'm going to add one of these cute little silicone mold cups that I got. I've got a whole variety of these. I have one that's square, I have them that are rectangular, and I have them that are round. Like, these are traditional cupcake muffin. They come in a host of colors. I got a pack of all of these. I think there are 12 of each, so 36 total for, I want to say, $12 on Amazon. I'll try to see if they're still available and link those below. But I love these for bento boxes because I can put something in it and keep it all together in the same container, but not run the risk of pickle juice or anything from here bleeding into this container. The reason that is very, very important right this minute is that I am going to fill that container with Lily's milk chocolate baking chips and some mixed nuts. I really like nuts as part of my lunch because they're very filling. The crunch is very satisfying. The nuts themselves are just so healthy, and I am trying to be very, very healthy and nutrition focused. These are just Planters mixed nuts. I got them on sale, buy one get one free at Publix, and I grabbed 2 jars of them, or 2 cans of them. They are really good. They're fresh. They're salty. It's just a good mix of nuts. I am enjoying them. A full-size serving is about 25 nuts, and it has 5 total carbs in it. I am doing about 15 nuts so that I'll only have about 3 carbs. So I have 5 carbs for my little roll-up. So 3 more carbs is 8. And then 1 serving of these Lily chips are 33 chips for 8 carbs. I am going to do about 16 of them for a half a serving, which seems like a lot of chips to me. Probably as I count them out it won't, but let's see. So that is 4 more carbs, but very worth it because these chocolate chips are delicious. You cannot tell, or I cannot tell, and I had my sister try, and she could not tell the difference between one of these and a regular baking chip. They are delicious. They don't have a weird aftertaste. They are exceptionally good chips. So I really like those. So they're worth 4 carbs to me to have sort of a luxurious lunch. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we're at 12 carbs so far. I am going to add dipping sauce. I really like this Cuban style mustard. I got this, it says Sam's Choice, so I obviously got it at Walmart. It's really good. I do think it's a little bit spicy all by itself. So I'm going to grab one of my little cups and I'm going to measure out a couple of teaspoons of this. And I'm going to actually add it to some mayonnaise just to cut it down a little bit on the twang of this really rich mustard. So I've got, ooh, that smells good. So I've got the wrap, the nuts, and the chips. 12 carbs. And I think to that, just to bulk it up a little bit, make sure that I have enough energy to power through a busy afternoon, I'm going to add 1 chaffle to it and just kind of use it as a almost like a dipping item for the whatever you want to call that mustard mayo combination. So I'm going to just cut this chaffle in half. I have a very simple chaffle recipe. I just use the same recipe that everybody in the world uses, but I can link, or I can make a video for that if you're interested. Please let me know in the comments if you are. But the way I make my chaffles is they are 2 points. They're actually a little less than 2, but I round them up to 2 just for simplicity's sake. So this is an excellent bento box that is satisfying and delicious. It's got some protein from the nuts. It's got some good fats from the nuts. It's got some good protein and fat in the cream cheese and the meat. And it's got a chaffle, which makes everything better. So I'm going to call that one done. Our last box that we're making today that will get us through all 3 lunches for the rest of this week, plus a dinner. I am going ridiculously easy and kind of a throwback to my favorite lunches when I was a kid, which was a sandwich and potato chips. So I have made my batch of chaffles for the week. So I have 2 chaffles. These are very, very simple. I am pretty straightforward. It's egg, mozzarella cheese, some almond flour, and a little bit of xanthan gum to give it some crunch. I am topping it with the last of my lunch meat. This is 1 ounce of lunch meat. It's actually a little sparse, but it's there. And then I'm going with a slice of my favorite American cheese, which is Kraft Deluxe American. I am a cheese aficionado, but sometimes I just like the old reliables. Topping that with some mustard. And that's it for the sandwich. I want it to be pretty plain and simple. I do not like pickles on my chaffles because I don't want them to get soggy, but I do love the crunch and taste of a pickle. So I'm actually going to add a couple of these clausens to the side to have with my sandwich. So these clausens are delicious. If you are looking for them in the grocery store, they are refrigerated. So you'll need to look in the refrigerator section. They're usually close to the lunch meat and cheeses. And that's it for the box. And then to go with that, I am going to add a pack of these protein puffs by Pure Protein. I know that not everybody is going to be a fan of these because these are not the cleanest items in the world. There are a ton of ingredients in them. So this is not something that I would have very often, but when I need a snack that is very reminiscent of a potato chip, or in this case, reminiscent of kind of like those nacho cheese rings you used to eat when you were little, it's this. So there are 4 packets in this. This is the pouch. It's a decent size amount of chips. It's more than enough for lunch. It's actually pretty generous. Each pouch is 130 calories, and it only has 3 total carbs. So again, I know that this is not something that if you're super clean, you're going to want, but for me, as I am learning to do without my potato chip craving and unhealthy foods and things like that, I need to know that there are some keto options that I can have and not feel like I'm suffering through a diet that I'm never going to stick to, but also help me stay on track with my weight loss plan. So my Friday lunch is going to be my little kids' lunch. I'm going to have a sandwich with some pickles and a side of chips. The chaffles are 2 carbs a piece, so that's 4, 1 for the lunch meat, 1 for the cheese, so that's a total of 6, 1 for the pickles, which is 7, and 3 for this, which is 10. So this is my 10 total carb lunch, and I am super excited about it. So to wrap everything up, here are my 1, 2, 3, 4 meals completely ready to go and eat. I can have 3 of them for lunch and 1 of them for dinner this week. To those, I'm going to add a couple of coffees. This is pre-brewed coffee. This is much weaker than I usually drink, but I just bought an iced coffee maker, and I'm still kind of adjusting to the right amount of coffee to put in it. To that, I am going to add this absolutely delicious skinny syrup. It is Rocky Road flavored. It is amazing. I got this at TJ Maxx, which is a great place to get the skinny syrups if you like them. I'm just going to put a little splash in each. It's pretty potent, so I don't like to overdo it because it can get pretty bitter. And then to each of my coffees, I'm going to add just a splash, maybe a little more than a splash of heavy cream. I like to keep these pre-made in the refrigerator. I will sometimes drink them for breakfast if I closed my eating window very early the day before and I've reached my 16 to 18 hour window. If not, I will save these and have them for kind of like a dessert after lunch is over. These do have carbs. Coffee does have carbs in it. You need to be aware of that. These are about 2 to 3 carbs a piece. One's got a little bit more, but totally worth it to have your coffee fix. I'm also going to take a couple of other items that I may not eat or consume, but I want to have them just in case. If I get hungry or I start to think about convincing myself that I'm hungry because one of these lunches wasn't sufficient, sometimes my willpower will fade, but it's easier for me to resist something that I have rather than, drift over to the candy drawer or to see what might be in the kitchen at work or the worst of all, jump in the car and run to the gas station or something for a fix. So I'm going to take one of these Premier protein shakes. Again, I know that this is not for everyone because it does have a decent amount of ingredients, but one of these is 160 calories and it has 4 total carbs. It's good for me to have these if I just need something. So I'm going to take that, and if I don't drink it, then I'll just save it for next week. I'm also going to take one of these Too Good Meyer lemon yogurts. This is a really good yogurt in my personal opinion, and 1 cup has 80 calories and it has 3 total carbs. So it's a very reasonable yogurt. Again, if you're not eating dairy, please don't pick this, but I really like it. It is a Greek yogurt, so it's pretty carb friendly and I think it tastes good. I will usually put a little shot of stevia in it or a packet of stevia if that's what I have on hand, and mix it up just to cut the tang of the yogurt. This one has the tang of Greek yogurt plus the tang of lemon, so it's pretty tangy, but I do enjoy that as well. So I'm gonna just take these in addition to my water that I always have on hand, And I'm also going to take a couple of Zevia soft drinks. I have this one which is cola flavored, and I have this one which is grape flavored. This does not taste like cola. This does not taste like grape, but both of these are pretty tasty, and they do not have artificial sweetener. They are sweetened with stevia. So I feel like these are much healthier choices than getting a Diet Coke from the machine. So I'm going to take one of these for a couple of the days, and then the other day I'll have coffee, and then I'll have coffee as a snack if I need it. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to follow me and join me on this journey, I would love for you to click subscribe, click a thumbs up. Please comment. Until later, everybody. Bye-bye.